Almost half of the homes that are for sale in the Greenville, South Carolina area are new construction. So if you're thinking about purchasing a home in Greenville, it's going to be really hard to exclude new construction. I've done lots of videos about new construction in Greenville, but I'm not going to focus on all the pros and cons of buying new construction in this video. But I want to give you the actual facts so that if you're going to buy a new construction home, you know exactly what you're going to be getting into. This is information that I know you won't find anywhere else. I spent hours and hours and hours putting this data together so that you have all the facts that you need to make a decision when it comes to new construction here in Greenville. Hi, I'm Evan Whaley, your favorite Greenville realtor. The number one thing that I think you need to know about new construction here in Greenville right now. So 1 out of every 3 homes is being sold by 2 builders. What does that really mean? Those 2 builders are really offering a lot of incentives and a lot of deals right now. I've mentioned that in previous videos, but if you're thinking about a D.R. Horton or a Meritage home, because of the inventory that they have and that they are selling, and because they've got so much that's adding up, they're really interested in moving their product quickly right now. What does that really mean? Why is that important for you to know that 1 out of every 3 homes are being sold by those 2 builders? I think it's important for a couple of reasons. One, just knowing who's doing the majority of the building so that when you're considering builders, you have an idea of who's actually doing it. And I'll talk even more about some of the other builders that are producing a lot of homes here in the area, and I'll break it down into the different buckets and layers so you can really get an understanding of who's doing what building, so you don't fall in love with a builder that's really not building in your area at all. The second thing that I think you really need to know is about the sizes of the homes that they're building right now. If we look at single family homes that are being built in Greenville County, we're seeing almost 60% of them are being built between 1,600 and 2,600 square feet. So that's the bulk of where the inventory is coming from. The next highest bracket of where we're seeing inventory is from 2,600 to 3,600 square feet. We're seeing very little homes that are being built that are larger than 3,600 square feet. It's actually only 3% of the new construction homes that they're building. If you're looking for a smaller home, you know, something between like 1,200 to 1,600 square feet, that's about 10% of the homes that they're building. I think it's really important so that you know what are builders actually building, what are the products that people are buying right now when it comes to new construction. 2 of the last things I want to mention before I go into the buckets of who's doing the most building here in Greenville are 2 things that I hear pretty often from people whenever they move here and relocate from other areas. One is people really like basements, so they want to know how many basement homes we have. And the second thing is people want some extra land. Some places they're moving from, they're used to bigger lots. So if you're looking for a basement here in the upstate, that's not as prevalent and that's not as common because we have much flatter land. But right now in new construction, a little over 3% of the homes being built have a basement. So there are options and you can definitely find them. There's parts of the upstate that offer that more than others, but it's not something that is super common. So if you're interested in a basement home and you find one that you like, that might be one worth jumping on because you might not see something like that again anytime soon. For someone that's looking for new construction with land, I really want to break that down for you so you can get an idea of how much of that is out there. What I hear from a lot of people when they look at new construction, if they're not prepared for it, is a lot of them are built on smaller lots. I've heard people call it postage stamped lots in the past. And that's pretty true. Almost 3 out of every 4 homes being built here in the upstate are on less than 1/4 of an acre. So we do still have those options for larger lots. Right now, if you look at anything that's 0.25 of an acre or more, so 1/4 of an acre, we're looking at 26.4% of the new construction homes that are being built. If you're looking for something that's 1/2 an acre that's new construction, that's about 17% of the homes that the new construction builders are building here in Greenville County. And if you want something more than an acre in the new construction world, that's 5.8% of the inventory. So there's not a ton of options there. What I see people doing is they'll buy land and they'll either use a custom builder or they might use a production builder that does an on-site build. So they'll just build on that one lot and it's a little bit more affordable to go that route. That is more expensive. When you're looking at that, you're kind of looking into the 500,000 plus range just to make sure that you can hit your needs and have someone that can actually deliver that product to you. So let's move on to the builders that are producing the most amount of homes here, because it might be important for you to know so you know what builder to look at if you're trying to figure out exactly what all the options are. The number 1 and number 2 builders here in the upstate. Number 1 is D.R. Horton, who's doing over 20% of the homes. Number 2 is Meritage. Again, you combine the 2 of them, they're building a little over 1 out of every 3 homes that are being built here in the upstate. So you'll likely notice they'll have the most options, the most communities, etc. When we get down to that second level of builders that are building a lot of homes here in the upstate, but not quite as as much as that first level, we've got Ryan Homes, SK, and Mungo. They produce about 5% of the market each in the new construction world. When we look at these first two buckets, that's basically 50% of the new construction that's being built here in the upstate. Those 5 builders are controlling a lot of it. Is that Ryan Homes builds a lot here in the upstate, and their numbers are actually probably higher than the data that I have because they don't put everything into what we call the MLS here as realtors, where I can see every single property that they're actually working on right now. So it's impossible for me to truly and accurately report their full numbers, but I would still say that they would be in that second bucket, but they probably would be closer to the first compared to the other 2 people on this list. When we get down to that next level where we've got about 3 to 4% of the homes being produced here in the upstate by these builders, we've got DRB Homes and Stanley Martin. After that, we go down another level where we've got about 2 to 3% of the homes being built by these builders here in the upstate. We got 4 builders that really fit into this bucket. We have Trust, Lennar, Crescent, and Enchanted Homes. And then lastly, when we kind of look at this bucket 5, there's a lot of people that I can put in there, but just to mention a couple builders that I've mentioned in the past that build in this bucket here, we'd consider Rosewood and New Style Homes. These are kind of more of your semi-custom builders. They build neighborhoods anywhere from about 40 to, maybe on the high end, 100 homes in their particular neighborhoods. They build smaller square footage homes that are high quality. When we talk about the builders in all of these buckets, so I'll just kind of go back through like level 1. D.R. Horton and Meritage, what they're doing a lot of right now is they've got homes that are already ready to go. They've built them and they're selling them out on the market. So most consumers aren't really making any level of selections. They're just finding a home that they really want, and that's the one that they're buying. And that's why they're building as much as they are. If we move down to that second level, which remember is Ryan Homes, SK Builders, and Mungo Homes, they tend to do what D.R. Horton and Meritage is doing, where you can buy a home that's already ready to go if you need to move in faster. So they do have some of those options. They'll offer a little bit more customization. Now, D.R. Horton and Meritage also will build from the ground up, but that's not what they're doing as much of, at least in this moment, as far as recording this video. Number 3 on this list, DRB and Stanley Martin. So they're similar to that second bucket. They're just not producing as many homes. So I won't spend too much time on them right now. Let's go down to our 4th layer of this bucket here, where we have Trust Homes, Enchanted Homes, Crescent, and Lennar. They're actually a hodgepodge because Lennar is building a lot more of, hey, it's ready to go, you can move in right now, faster build times, faster move-in times. Trust Homes has a little bit of that, and then you can build from the ground up. You see Crescent, they're doing a little bit of kind of that level 2, level 3 in that bucket. And then you've got Enchanted, which they've got homes that are ready to go. You can do like semi-custom style build with them. So they offer a lot of different options. They tend to build a little bit more in the Spartanburg County area than they do in Greenville County. So something to know. And then lastly, I've talked a little bit already about Rosewood and New Style Homes. Generally speaking, they build smaller homes in smaller communities, and they build a high quality price per square foot style of home. New Style focuses on 55 and up communities. Rosewood is not exclusive to 55 and up, although they do have a couple 55 and up communities here in the upstate. So what does all this cost? If you're looking in Greenville County, the average price of a new construction single family home is $472,000. If you're looking at the median prices, right around $390,000. Of course, there are homes that are more affordable, less affordable. It all depends on what you're looking for. And if you want to go outside of Greenville County, I find that homes are more affordable in the surrounding counties. Break this down a little bit further. So let's talk about, if you're that person that's looking for a 1,200 to 1,600 square foot house, overall, you're looking close to around $300,000. And that's kind of the number that's in between the average and the median price. If you're looking for that 1,600 to 2,600 square foot home, you can get something as affordable as about $325. If we're kind of looking for a number that's closer to the middle, it's about $365. Once we get bigger than 2,600 square feet, we're looking closer to $500,000 for a home. If you want a home that's over 3,800 square feet, it really varies on who the builder is, and there's such a large gap of how big that home can be, of course. But I would say start at $800,000 and work your way up. That should be the proper expectations for a home in that size range. Well, like I said, I don't think you're going to find any of this information anywhere else. I'm curious, what was the most helpful thing that I said in this video? Drop a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. And all my contact information is in the video description here. So if I can help with anything, please feel free to reach out.